The day everything changed. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to rise stronger after every failure, while others remain trapped, blaming circumstances, luck, or other people? The difference is rarely talent. It is almost never intelligence. More often than not, it begins with one powerful decision: to stop looking outward and start looking inward. Imagine a leader standing in front of a team after a major failure. Sales have collapsed. Deadlines were missed. Customers are angry. Every excuse seems reasonable. The market changed. Competitors were aggressive. Communication failed. Resources were limited. Most leaders would point to one of these reasons. Great leaders do something different. They ask a simple but uncomfortable question: what could I have done differently? This single question changes everything. Because the moment you accept complete ownership of your actions, your decisions, and even your responses to circumstances beyond your control, you gain something that excuses can never give you. Power. Not power over other people. Power over your future. Every successful entrepreneur, athlete, military commander, and visionary eventually discovers this principle. Progress begins the moment responsibility replaces blame. This does not mean carrying the weight of the entire world on your shoulders. It means recognizing that while you cannot control every event, you can always control your preparation, your attitude, your decisions, and your response. History repeatedly rewards people who refuse to become victims of circumstance. Ownership transforms failure into feedback. Mistakes become lessons. Obstacles become opportunities. Fear becomes preparation. And ordinary people become extraordinary leaders. This journey is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming accountable. Because the greatest prison is believing someone else holds the key to your success. And the greatest freedom begins the day you realize the key has always been in your hands. The dangerous comfort of blame. The human mind is designed to protect itself. When something goes wrong, your first instinct is rarely to ask, "What did I do?" Instead, your brain searches for something safer. The economy, your boss, your team, your family. Bad timing. Bad luck. At first, this feels comforting. If someone else is responsible, then the pain becomes easier to carry. But comfort comes with a hidden cost. The moment you give away responsibility, you also give away control. Think about two people who experience the exact same setback. The first says, "There was nothing I could do." The second says, "There must be something I can improve before I try again." They face the same obstacle, yet they begin walking toward completely different futures. One waits for circumstances to change. The other changes themselves. This is why blame is so dangerous. It disguises itself as logic while quietly stealing your ability to grow. The most effective leaders understand a simple truth. Every challenge contains two parts. The first is what happened. The second is how you respond. You may not control the first, but you always control the second. This mindset is not about accepting guilt for everything. It is about refusing to waste energy on what cannot be changed. Instead of asking, "Who's at fault?" ask, "What's the next best decision?" That single shift moves your attention from the past to the future. It transforms frustration into action, complaints into solutions, fear into preparation. The world's greatest leaders are not those who make the fewest mistakes. They are the ones who recover the fastest because they never stop asking what they can do next. Every excuse delays progress. every honest reflection creates progress. And over time, those small moments of accountability build something extraordinary. Not just stronger careers, not just stronger businesses, but stronger character. Because leadership is never proven when everything goes according to plan. It is revealed when the plan falls apart. Leadership begins before anyone is watching. The world often celebrates leadership when the spotlight is shining. A standing ovation, a successful launch, a record-breaking achievement. But real leadership begins long before any applause is heard. It begins in the quiet moments. Imagine waking up before sunrise. No audience, no cameras, no one waiting to congratulate you. Only a decision stands before you. Will you honor your commitment or negotiate with your excuses? These invisible choices shape every visible success. The athlete who wins a championship is celebrated for a single performance. Yet that victory was built during thousands of ordinary mornings, when quitting would have been easier than continuing. The entrepreneur who builds a thriving company is admired for the final result. Few people see the countless evenings spent solving problems that no one else even knew existed. Leadership is never created in public. It is simply revealed there. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens something invisible: your character. And character is the foundation upon which trust is built. People naturally follow those whose actions consistently match their words. Not because they are perfect, but because they are dependable. When your private standards remain high, your public performance begins to rise naturally. This is why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. Some mornings, it arrives with energy. Other days, it disappears without warning. Discipline asks a different question. Will you continue even when you don't feel like it? That question separates dreamers from builders. Anyone can act with confidence when circumstances are favorable. Leaders act with purpose even when uncertainty fills the room. They don't wait until they feel ready. They prepare until they become ready. Over time, these quiet victories compound. One disciplined morning becomes one productive week. One productive week becomes one successful month. One successful month becomes a transformed life. The remarkable part is that almost no one notices these moments while they happen. There are no headlines for choosing consistency, no awards for resisting distraction, no applause for doing the difficult thing day after day. Yet these are the moments that define every extraordinary leader. Because leadership is not a title someone gives you. It is a reputation your habits earn. And every decision you make when no one is watching is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. The question is not whether your habits are shaping your future. They already are. The only question is, what future are they creating? The mirror test. Every morning, before the world asks anything of you, there is one question that matters more than all the others. Can you trust the person staring back at you in the mirror? Most people spend their lives trying to manage circumstances. Great leaders begin by managing themselves. It sounds simple, yet nothing is more difficult. Anyone can point out another person's weakness. Few have the courage to confront their own. The mirror never lies. It reflects every promise you broke, every opportunity you ignored, every excuse you accepted. But it also reflects something else, the person you are still capable of becoming. That possibility is what separates growth from regret. Imagine carrying two invisible versions of yourself. The first is who you are today. The second is who you could become if you honored your commitments every single day. The distance between those two people is not measured by talent. It is measured by daily choices. One extra hour of focused work. One difficult conversation instead of silent resentment. One decision to learn instead of complain. One moment of discipline instead of comfort. These choices appear insignificant until years pass. Then they become the story of your life. This is why self-leadership is the hardest form of leadership. You cannot negotiate with your future. Every decision leaves a mark. Every habit writes another sentence. Every action becomes another chapter. Eventually, your life reads exactly as you wrote it. The greatest leaders understand a truth that many never discover. Winning against another person proves strength. Winning against yourself proves character. And character outlasts talent every time. There will always be distractions, people who doubt you, unexpected setbacks, moments when giving up seems reasonable. But none of these will determine your future as much as the conversation you have with yourself. When failure comes, do you become your own worst critic or your strongest teacher? When success arrives, do you become comfortable or even more committed? Leadership is built in those quiet conversations no one else can hear, because the voice inside your mind eventually becomes the direction of your life. So before trying to inspire a team, before trying to influence a company, before trying to change the world, stand in front of the mirror, ask one honest question. Would I willingly follow the person I am today? If the answer is yes, keep growing. If the answer is no, today is the perfect day to begin becoming someone you would. Because every great leader first earns the right to lead themselves. Small decisions, massive consequences. If you asked someone to describe the moment their life changed, most would point to a single event. The day they got promoted, the day they lost their job, the day they got married, the day they started a business. But life rarely changes in a single moment. It changes quietly. One decision at a time. Imagine two people standing at the same starting line. They have similar skills, similar opportunities, similar dreams. A year later, their lives look almost identical. 5 years later, the difference is noticeable. 10 years later, it is impossible to ignore. What happened? Not one extraordinary decision, hundreds of ordinary ones. One person chose to read for 30 minutes every evening. The other chose endless distractions. One invested in learning new skills. The other waited for the right time. One welcomed difficult feedback. The other defended every mistake. The gap wasn't created overnight. It was built silently. This is the invisible law of leadership. Small actions repeat. Repeated actions become habits. Habits become character. And character determines destiny. Most people underestimate the power of today's choices because today's consequences are often invisible. Skip one workout. Nothing changes. Waste 1 hour. No disaster follows. Ignore one opportunity. Life moves on. The danger lies in repetition. Every repeated choice becomes easier. Not because the action changes, but because you do. Your brain is constantly building pathways. Every time you repeat a behavior, those pathways grow stronger. Eventually, what once required effort becomes automatic. This is why successful leaders protect their routines with such intensity. They understand they are not simply managing time, they are programming their future. The same principle works in reverse. Every excuse repeated becomes a habit. Every delay becomes a pattern. Every broken promise weakens the trust you have in yourself. And without self-trust, confidence begins to disappear. True confidence is not built by positive thinking. It is built by evidence. Evidence that you keep your word. Evidence that you finish what you start. Evidence that you continue even when no one is watching. Over time, these small victories create something powerful. Not perfection, momentum. And momentum changes everything. A person in motion finds it easier to keep moving. A person standing still finds countless reasons to remain where they are. That is why leaders focus less on dramatic transformations and more on consistent progress. One page, one conversation, one workout, one improvement, one promise kept. Day after day, year after year, until one morning, people look at their success and call it extraordinary. They never see the thousands of invisible decisions that made it inevitable. Your future is not waiting for one life-changing moment. It is quietly being shaped by the decision you make right now. Because greatness is never built in giant leaps. It is built in small choices that most people are too impatient to value. The cost of comfort. Comfort is one of the greatest rewards of hard work. It is also one of its greatest dangers. At first, comfort feels harmless. You tell yourself you've earned a break. One day becomes 2. 2 days become a week. A week quietly becomes a habit. Nothing dramatic happens. That's what makes comfort so deceptive. It doesn't destroy your potential overnight. It slowly convinces you that where you are is good enough. Imagine a ship resting safely in a harbor. It is protected from storms, protected from waves, protected from uncertainty. But ships were never built to remain in the harbor. Neither were people. Growth has always lived beyond the edge of familiarity. Every meaningful achievement begins with discomfort. The first speech, the first interview, the first business, the first difficult conversation, the first bold decision. None of them feel comfortable. Yet every one of them expands the boundaries of who you become. Most people spend their lives trying to eliminate discomfort. Great leaders learn to use it as a compass. When something challenges them, they become curious. When fear appears, they prepare. When uncertainty grows, they move anyway. Not because they enjoy discomfort, but because they understand what lies on the other side of it. Progress. Think about the strongest muscles in your body. They didn't become stronger through rest alone. They grew because resistance forced them to adapt. Your mind works the same way. Every challenge stretches your confidence. Every setback strengthens your resilience. Every difficult decision sharpens your judgment. Without resistance, growth becomes impossible. This is why comfort can become invisible. It whispers instead of shouts. You can start tomorrow. One more episode won't matter. You're already doing better than most people. These thoughts seem reasonable until months pass, then years. And one day, you realize that your greatest obstacle was never a lack of opportunity. It was the comfort of postponing your potential. The most successful leaders make an unusual commitment. They intentionally place themselves in situations that demand more from them. They seek feedback that challenges their beliefs. They accept projects that stretch their abilities. They have conversations others avoid, not because it's easy, but because they know comfort never created greatness. Every breakthrough in your life will ask for a price. That price is uncertainty. That price is effort. That price is temporary discomfort. The question is not whether discomfort will appear. It always does. The real question is this: will you see it as a warning or as an invitation to grow? Because the life you've imagined is rarely found inside your comfort zone. It's waiting just beyond the place where most people decide to turn back. And the leaders who change the world are almost always the ones who choose to take one more step. The discipline advantage. Talent can open a door. Discipline is what keeps you inside the room. Every year, the world watches gifted people fall short of their potential. Not because they lacked intelligence, not because they lacked opportunity, but because they believed talent alone would carry them forward. It never does. Talent is a spark. Discipline is the fire. Imagine two architects asked to build the same house. The first is brilliant, creative, naturally gifted. But he works only when inspiration appears. The second is ordinary. His ideas are not revolutionary. His talent is average. Yet every morning, without fail, he shows up. He studies. He improves. He lays one more brick. A year later, one house is complete. The other still exists only in imagination. This is the quiet power of discipline. It transforms intentions into actions, and actions into results. Many people spend years waiting to feel motivated. They tell themselves, "I'll start when I feel ready." But motivation is unpredictable. Some mornings, it fills you with energy. Other mornings, it disappears without explanation. If your success depends on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. Discipline asks for something different. It asks you to act before you feel like acting. It teaches your mind that commitment comes first. Feelings come second. This is how confidence is built. Not by thinking differently, but by behaving differently. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, something invisible grows stronger. Self-respect. You begin to trust yourself. You stop wondering whether you'll follow through, because you've proven it, again and again. That trust becomes the foundation of real confidence. People often admire disciplined individuals for their achievements. What they don't see are the sacrifices, the alarms that rang before sunrise, the evenings spent learning while others were entertained, the difficult conversations, the repeated failures, the countless moments when quitting seemed easier than continuing. Discipline is rarely glamorous. It is repetitive, quiet, almost invisible. But its rewards are impossible to hide. The strongest leaders understand a simple truth. Success is not built by extraordinary effort performed once. It is built by ordinary effort repeated consistently. That is why routines matter. Not because they make life exciting, but because they make excellence predictable. Every disciplined action sends a message to your future self. You can depend on me. And when enough of those messages accumulate, you become the kind of person who finishes what they begin, who keeps moving when life becomes difficult, who remains calm when others panic, who leads by example rather than by words. Eventually, people will call you disciplined. They'll assume you were born that way. They won't realize that discipline was never a personality trait. It was decision, repeated so many times that it became your identity. Because in the end, leadership is not determined by what you can do on your best day. It is determined by what you choose to do. On your hardest one, pressure reveals character. There is a moment that every leader will eventually face, a moment when the plan fails, The numbers fall. The phone rings with bad news. The room grows silent, and every eye turns toward one person: you. It is in that moment that people discover something important. Pressure does not create character. It reveals it. Imagine holding a piece of coal and a diamond in your hands. Both have endured pressure, but only one became something extraordinary. The difference was not the pressure itself. It was what existed inside before the pressure arrived. Leadership works the same way. A crisis doesn't magically transform someone into a leader. It exposes the habits, beliefs, and discipline they built long before the crisis began. That is why preparation is one of the highest forms of leadership. You don't prepare because you expect everything to go wrong. You prepare because one day, something will. When that day arrives, panic becomes a poor strategy. Preparation becomes your greatest advantage. Have you ever noticed how some people remain remarkably calm during chaos? It isn't because they feel less fear. It's because they have trained themselves to think before they react. While others ask, "Why is this happening?" leaders ask, "What needs to happen next?" That single question changes everything. It shifts attention away from emotion and toward action. Pressure has a strange way of stripping away appearances. Titles lose their power. Excuses lose their value. Confidence built on ego quickly disappears. Only character remains. This is why the strongest leaders invest more time in building themselves than building their image. Image impresses people. Character earns their trust. And trust is the true currency of leadership. When people trust you, they follow you through uncertainty. When they don't, even the smallest challenge can cause everything to fall apart. Think about the people you've admired most in your life. Was it because they never failed? Probably not. It was because they remained steady when failure arrived. They accepted responsibility. They adapted. They kept moving. Their calm became contagious. Their courage gave others hope. This is what real leadership looks like. Not pretending to have all the answers, but refusing to let fear make the decisions. Every challenge you face today is preparing you for a responsibility you haven't yet received. Every setback is strengthening a skill you'll need tomorrow. Every difficult season is quietly shaping the leader your future demands. So don't waste your pressure. Use it. Study it. Learn from it. Let it expose the weaknesses that comfort allowed you to ignore. Because every weakness discovered is an opportunity to become stronger. And every challenge survived becomes evidence that you are more capable than you once believed. One day, someone will look to you in the middle of their own storm. They won't ask how talented you are. They won't ask how intelligent you are. They'll ask themselves one silent question: can this person lead us through this? The answer won't come from your words. It will come from the character you've built, one decision at a time. Because when pressure finally arrives, it doesn't ask who you want to be. It reveals who you've chosen to become, the courage to make difficult decisions. Every leader dreams of making the right decision. Very few dream of making the difficult one. Yet history remembers those who had the courage to choose what was necessary, not what was comfortable. Imagine standing at a crossroads. One path is familiar, safe, predictable. The other is uncertain, risky, filled with questions no one can answer. Most people hesitate, not because they don't know what to do, but because they already do. The truth is, Difficult decisions rarely lack clarity. They lack comfort. You already know the conversation you've been avoiding, the habit you've been excusing, the opportunity you've been postponing, the boundary you've been afraid to set. Leadership begins the moment you stop asking, "What is the easiest choice?" and start asking, "What is the right choice?" Those two questions rarely produce the same answer. There is a hidden cost to avoiding difficult decisions. At first, it feels like relief. You postpone the meeting, delay a change, ignore the warning signs. Life becomes quieter for a while. But problems are like shadows at sunset. The longer you wait, the larger they become. A conversation delayed for 1 week becomes resentment. A small mistake ignored becomes a major failure. A weak standard accepted becomes the new normal. This is why decisive leaders protect their future by acting in the present. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing action despite fear. Think about the strongest tree in a forest. It did not become strong because the wind was gentle. It became strong because every storm forced its roots to grow deeper. Your decisions work the same way. Every difficult choice strengthens your judgment. Every uncomfortable conversation builds your confidence. Every challenge accepted expands your capacity to lead. The first time is always the hardest. The second time is easier. By the 10th time, courage has become part of your character. Many people believe confidence comes before action. Life teaches the opposite. Action creates confidence. Every time you face something you've been avoiding, your mind receives new evidence. I survived. I handled it. I can do this again. That evidence becomes belief, and belief changes the way you see yourself. Great leaders are not fearless people. They simply refuse to let fear become their advisor. They listen to facts. They consider consequences. They seek wisdom. Then they decide. Because indecision carries its own risks. Every day spent waiting is a day your future remains on hold. Every opportunity ignored is one someone else may seize. Every decision avoided silently makes a decision of its own, to remain exactly where you are. Leadership is not measured by how many easy choices you make. It is measured by what you do when every option demands sacrifice. There will be moments when no decision feels perfect. Take the best one you can with the information you have. Adjust if necessary. Learn if needed. But keep moving. Progress belongs to those who are willing to act before certainty arrives. One day, you'll look back and realize the decisions that scared you most were the ones that transformed you the most. Not because they changed your circumstances overnight, but because they changed the person making the decisions. And once that person changes, everything else begins to change as well. Because the future is not created by the choices you postpone. It is created by the courageous decisions you make today. The leader others choose to follow. There is a profound difference between people who command authority and people who earn it. One can force obedience. The other inspires commitment. The first relies on position. The second relies on character. Imagine walking into a room where two leaders are waiting. The first immediately reminds everyone of his title. He speaks loudly, controls every conversation, corrects every mistake, demands respect. The second says very little. He listens, observes, asks thoughtful questions. When he finally speaks, the room naturally becomes quiet. Why? Because true influence has never depended on volume. It depends on credibility. People don't follow leaders because they are the smartest person in the room. They follow leaders because they feel safe placing their trust in them. Trust is earned in moments so small that most people never notice them. Arriving when you said you would. Keeping your promises. Taking responsibility after a mistake. Giving credit instead of taking it. Listening without preparing your next response. Admitting, I don't know. These moments seem ordinary. Yet together, they create an extraordinary reputation. The strongest leaders understand something that weak leaders never do. Respect cannot be demanded. The moment you demand it, you reveal that you haven't earned it. Real respect is freely given. And once earned, it becomes stronger with every consistent action. Think about someone who changed your life. Perhaps it was a teacher, a parent, a coach, a mentor. What made them unforgettable? Was it their authority? Or was it the way they believed in you before you believed in yourself? Great leaders see potential long before others recognize it. They don't simply manage performance, they develop people. They understand that every person carries invisible battles, hidden fears, untapped strengths, dreams they've almost forgotten. Leadership is the ability to speak to that hidden potential, to remind people of what they are capable of becoming, not through empty encouragement, but through example. Because example is the loudest language a leader can speak, your team watches how you respond to pressure, how you treat people who cannot benefit you, how you react when no one is applauding. They notice more than you realize. Your habits become permission for theirs. Your standards become expectations. Your attitude becomes contagious. Whether you intend it or not, you are always teaching. The question is, what lesson are people learning from your life? Leadership is not about being the center of attention. It is about becoming the source of stability when everyone else feels uncertain. When panic spreads, you remain calm. When blame begins, you accept responsibility. When hope fades, you become the first person to believe that a better outcome is still possible. That belief changes people, not because your words are magical, but because your actions make those words believable. One trustworthy leader can transform an entire organization. One honest parent can change the future of a family. One disciplined individual can inspire generations. Never underestimate the influence of a life lived with integrity, because influence travels farther than you will ever see. Someone is watching you today, learning from you, quietly deciding what leadership looks like. They may never tell you, but your choices are becoming part of their future. So lead in a way that leaves people stronger than you found them. Lead in a way that creates more leaders, not more followers. Because the highest purpose of leadership is not to build dependence. It is to build people who no longer need you to believe in themselves. And when that happens, your influence lives on long after you've left the room. The legacy of ownership. Imagine attending your own retirement celebration. The room is full. Friends, colleagues, family. People you've worked beside for years. One by one, they step forward to speak. What will they remember? Will they talk about your job title, your salary, the size of your office? Perhaps, but only for a moment. Then the conversation will move to something far more important. How you made people feel, whether they trusted you, whether your words matched your actions, whether your presence made others stronger. That is your legacy. Legacy is not built at the end of your life. It is built every single day. Every promise you keep becomes another brick. Every difficult decision becomes another beam. Every act of integrity strengthens the foundation. Most people think legacy is something left behind. Great leaders understand something different. Legacy is something lived, long before it is remembered. Consider a teacher whose students still quote lessons learned decades later. A parent whose values continue guiding generations. A mentor whose encouragement changed the direction of someone's entire life. Their influence did not end when they walked away. It continued through the people they shaped. This is the true power of ownership. When you take responsibility for your actions, you give others permission to do the same. When you admit your mistakes, you create a culture where learning becomes more important than pretending. When you choose integrity over convenience, you raise the standard for everyone around you. Leadership spreads quietly, like ripples across still water. You may never know how far your influence travels. A conversation you almost didn't have may inspire someone to pursue a dream. A moment of patience may restore someone's confidence. A single act of courage may become the example another leader carries for the rest of their life. Never underestimate the weight of ordinary moments. History is often shaped by choices that seemed insignificant when they were made. The greatest leaders rarely wake up thinking, "Today I will create a legacy." Instead, they ask, "How can I serve well today?" Then they repeat that question tomorrow, and the next day, year after year. Eventually, those ordinary days become an extraordinary life. Ownership changes the way you see success. Success is no longer measured only by what you accumulate. It is measured by what continues to grow because you were here. The people who become more confident, the teams that become stronger, the families that become healthier, the communities that become more hopeful. That is leadership at its highest level. Not collecting followers. Creating people who carry your values long after your voice is no longer heard. One day, your work will end. Your meetings will be forgotten. Your deadlines will disappear. Your achievements will slowly become history. But your character will continue living in every person you inspired. That is the remarkable thing about ownership. Its greatest reward is not recognition. It is multiplication. The values you practice today become the habits of those who watch you tomorrow, and those habits become the culture of future generations. So ask yourself a different question. Not, what do I want to achieve? But, what do I want to leave behind? Because in the end, every leader leaves something. The only choice is whether that legacy is built by intention or by accident. The ownership mindset. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a single realization. No one is coming to rescue you. No perfect opportunity is waiting around the corner. No magical moment will suddenly transform your life. At first, that thought feels heavy. Then something remarkable happens. It becomes liberating. Because the moment you stop waiting, you start building. This is the ownership mindset. It is more than accepting responsibility. It is choosing to become the author of your own story. Most people live as if life is happening to them. They react, they complain, they wait, they hope circumstances will improve. Leaders live differently. They ask, given the reality I have, what can I create? That question changes everything. The ownership mindset refuses to waste energy on what cannot be controlled. The weather, the economy, the opinions of strangers, the mistakes of yesterday. Instead, it invests every ounce of attention into what can be influenced. Today's choices, today's attitude, today's preparation, today's actions. That is where transformation begins. Think of a sculptor standing before a massive block of stone. To everyone else, it is just a rock, heavy, cold, unremarkable. But the sculptor sees something invisible, a masterpiece waiting to be uncovered. Your life is no different. Every challenge is another piece of stone. Every failure is another strike of the chisel. Every difficult lesson removes what no longer belongs. Slowly, patiently, purposefully, the leader within you begins to emerge. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. There's a question that successful people ask themselves almost every day. What is this situation trying to teach me? Notice the difference. Not, why is this happening to me? But, what can this make me become? Victims search for someone to blame. Leaders search for the lesson. Victims focus on fairness. Leaders focus on growth. Victims wait for confidence. Leaders create confidence through action. This mindset is not optimistic because it ignores reality. It is optimistic because it believes reality can be improved. One decision at a time. One habit at a time. One courageous action at a time. There will still be failures, moments of doubt, unexpected disappointments. The ownership mindset does not promise a life without storms. It promises something far more valuable, that no storm will have the final word. Because every obstacle now has a different meaning. It is no longer proof that you should stop. It is evidence that you are being shaped. Steel is strengthened by fire. Gold is refined by heat. Character is forged through responsibility. One day, someone will ask you the secret behind your success. They may expect you to mention luck, talent, connections, timing. Instead, you'll smile because you'll know the truth. Your life changed the day you stopped asking, "Who is responsible?" and started saying, "It begins with me." That simple sentence is more than an idea. It is a way of living, a way of leading, a way of becoming. And once that mindset takes root, there is no challenge powerful enough to convince you that your future belongs to anyone else. Because the greatest ownership is not taking control of a business, or a team, or a mission. It is taking ownership of the person you choose to become. The day everything changes, there is a strange belief that holds millions of people captive. They believe their life will change when the promotion comes, when the business succeeds, when they finally have enough money, when the perfect opportunity appears. So they wait. Days become months. Months become years. Years quietly become a lifetime. Then one day, they wake up and wonder where all the time went. But what if they were waiting for the wrong moment? What if the day everything changes is never found on a calendar? Imagine a traveler standing before a mountain. From the bottom, the summit seems impossibly far away. The distance is intimidating. The climb feels overwhelming. So the traveler keeps studying the map, watching videos, reading advice, planning every possible route. Days pass, weeks pass. The mountain never becomes smaller. Then another traveler arrives. He studies the mountain for only a moment. He takes one step, then another, then another. Months later, one person knows everything about climbing. The other is standing on the summit. Knowledge creates possibilities. Action creates reality. This is where lives begin to separate. Not through intelligence, not through talent, but through movement. Every extraordinary life has one thing in common. There was a day when someone stopped preparing to begin and simply began. That first step rarely looked impressive. No applause, no celebration, no certainty, just a quiet decision. Today, I move. The world celebrates victories, but victories are only the visible result of invisible decisions. The decision to wake up early, the decision to apologize, the decision to keep learning, the decision to continue after failure, the decision to lead when no one else would. Those are the moments that rewrite destinies. Think back to the person you were 1 year ago. You have changed, perhaps more than you realize, not because one dramatic event transformed you, but because hundreds of small experiences quietly reshaped your thinking. Now imagine repeating that process intentionally, every day, every week, every year. The person you become 5 years from now would seem almost unrecognizable to the person you are today. That is the power of intentional growth. Many people search for a breakthrough. Few understand that breakthroughs are usually built from ordinary days that nobody celebrates. There is another truth that most people never hear. You do not become confident before taking action. You become confident because you took action. Confidence is earned, not imagined. Every promise you keep to yourself deposits another vote into your identity. Eventually, your identity becomes stronger than your excuses. You no longer ask, "Should I do the right thing today?" Because the right thing has become part of who you are. That is the moment everything changes. Not when life becomes easier, not when circumstances improve, but when your standards become stronger than your emotions, when your purpose becomes louder than your fear, when your discipline becomes greater than your comfort. From that day forward, challenges still arrive. Failure still visits. Life still tests you. But something is different. You are different. Storms no longer define your direction. Opinions no longer determine your worth. Temporary setbacks no longer convince you to surrender. Because your foundation is no longer built upon circumstances, it is built upon character, and character cannot be taken from you. One decision, one habit, one courageous act. That is all it takes to begin writing a completely different future. So if you've been waiting for the perfect day, stop waiting, because the day everything changes has never been tomorrow. It has always been today. Beyond success, there comes a point in every meaningful journey when success no longer feels like enough. At first, success is everything. You want the promotion, the recognition, the business, the money, the freedom. You believe that once you have those things, you will finally feel complete. And perhaps for a moment, you do. But then something unexpected happens. The excitement fades. The trophy gathers dust. The applause becomes silence. And a new question quietly enters your mind. Is this all there is? Many people spend their entire lives chasing success. Very few ever discover significance. Success is about what you achieve. Significance is about who benefits because you lived. Imagine two candles. The first protects its flame. It burns brightly for itself. The second uses its flame to light hundreds of others. Does its own light become weaker? No. The room simply becomes brighter. That is the difference between success and significance. The greatest leaders eventually stop asking, "How far can I go?" Instead, they ask, "How many people can I help rise with me?" Because influence multiplies, knowledge multiplies, kindness multiplies, courage multiplies. One decision made with integrity today may echo through generations you will never meet. Think about the people who shaped your life. Perhaps they never became famous. Perhaps history will never mention their names. Yet their words still guide you. Their example still strengthens you. Their values still live inside your decisions. That is significance. It outlives applause. It outlives wealth. It even outlives the person who created it. The world often measures people by possessions, but life measures them differently. Not by what they accumulated, but by what they gave away. The encouragement they offered, the wisdom they shared, the hope they restored, the courage they inspired. In the end, people may forget what you owned. They rarely forget how you changed them. There is a beautiful paradox in leadership. The more you help others grow, the more you grow yourself. The more responsibility you accept, the lighter your heart becomes. The more you give, the richer your life feels. This is a truth that cannot be purchased. It can only be lived. One conversation at a time, one act of service at a time, one life at a time. Perhaps that is why the greatest leaders never truly retire. Their work continues in every person they encouraged, in every mind they challenged, in every dream they helped awaken. One day, your achievements will become memories. Your possessions will belong to someone else. Your name may slowly fade from history, but the courage you planted in another human being will continue walking through the world. The hope you gave will become someone else's strength. The example you lived will become another person's standard. That is how ordinary lives become extraordinary, not by living for themselves, but by becoming a source of light for others. So don't measure your life only by what you accomplish. Measure it by what continues to grow, long after you've left the room. Because the greatest victory is not reaching the top of the mountain alone. It is turning around, extending your hand, and helping someone else climb. That is the highest form of leadership, the choice that defines everything. Take a deep breath. Not because this journey is ending, but because, in many ways, it is only now beginning. When you first pressed play, you were looking for answers. Perhaps you wanted to become a better leader, a stronger thinker, a more disciplined person. Perhaps you simply wanted to improve your life. And maybe you found something more valuable than answers. You found better questions. Questions have a remarkable power. The right answer may solve today's problem, but the right question can transform an entire lifetime. Throughout this journey, one idea has quietly appeared again and again, not as a lesson, not as a rule, but as an invitation to take ownership of your choices, ownership of your habits, ownership of your words, ownership of your future. Because ownership is not a strategy, it is an identity. The moment you embrace it, you stop asking life for permission. You begin creating the life you were meant to live. Look back for a moment. Remember the person who began this audiobook. Remember the doubts, the excuses, the fears, the uncertainty. Now look at the person listening to these words. The world around you may look exactly the same room, the same responsibilities, the same challenges waiting tomorrow morning. But if you've truly listened, something invisible has changed. The way you think, the way you see obstacles, the way you speak to yourself, the way you define leadership. Real transformation is rarely loud. A seed does not announce the moment it becomes a tree. The sunrise never asks the world to applaud. The strongest foundations are built underground, long before anyone sees the building above. The same is true for you. The decisions you make after this moment, the promises you keep, the standards you refuse to lower, will quietly shape a future that does not yet exist. And one day, people will look at your life. They will call you fortunate, disciplined, successful, natural. They will never see the mornings when quitting felt easier, the evenings when no one believed in you, the moments when fear whispered, "Stop," and you answered, "Not today." That is the hidden story behind every extraordinary life. Never believe that greatness belongs to a chosen few. Greatness has never been reserved for the loudest voice, the highest title, or the greatest talent. Greatness belongs to those who make one courageous decision, again and again and again, until courage becomes character, and character becomes destiny. There is one final truth I want to leave with you. Life is always asking a question, not once. Every single day, it asks, who will you choose to become today? Notice the question carefully. Not, what will you achieve? Not, what will you own? Not, how much will you earn? But, who will you become? Because everything else follows that answer. Success follows it. Influence follows it. Peace follows it. Legacy follows it. The world changes because people change. Families change because one person changes. Organizations change because one leader changes. History changes because ordinary individuals decide that ordinary is no longer enough. Perhaps the next person who changes history will never appear on a magazine cover. Perhaps they will simply become the parent who raises courageous children, the teacher who awakens forgotten dreams, the entrepreneur who creates opportunities, the leader who chooses integrity when compromise would have been easier. Perhaps that person is you. So when this audiobook ends, do not close it as if it were another story. Close it as if it were a mirror reflecting the person you are capable of becoming. And tomorrow morning, when your feet touch the floor, before the noise of the world begins, before your phone demands your attention, before excuses have a chance to speak, make one quiet promise, not to anyone else, to yourself. Say, today I will lead myself well. If you keep that promise, tomorrow, make it again, then again, then again. One day, without realizing when it happened, you won't simply be living a different life. You will have become a different person. And that is where every extraordinary story truly begins. So this is not goodbye. It never was. Because every ending that changes a life is simply the first page of the next chapter. Thank you for listening. Now, go write a story that your future self will be proud to remember.